Darkness fills your life and pain supreme. When evil forces have deformed your dreams, it's time to open up your heart to let the light shine through. No matter how you look at it, you'll always know it's true.
Makes a big fuss. GameCube, Nintendo bless us. GameCube, it's all where easily surpass the rest. And when it comes to games, we'll always get the best. Bless us. GameCube, it's all where easily surpass the rest. And when it comes to games, we'll always get the best.
It's time to open up, to let your heart decide what's true.
GameCube, it makes a big fuss. GameCube, Nintendo bless us. GameCube, it's all where recently surpass the rest. And when it comes to games, we'll always get the best. GameCube, it makes a big fuss. GameCube, Nintendo bless us. GameCube, it's how we recently surpass the rest. And when it comes to games, we'll always get the best.
Listen and you'll hear the heartbeat of a universe teeming with force. See all the forms and the faces of nature taking its course. And feel all the wonderful motion flowing through things far and near. Nature will share her secrets when we are ready to hear. Energy, these are a few of your faces, glowing in timeless places, bringing our lives new graces. Energy, there is no living without you. We must keep learning about you. Now is the time to find how to. Energy, you are profound. You make the world go round and round. You make the world go round. You make the world go round. You make the world go round.
Thank you, Energy. Hello, everybody. How you doing? How's it going? Hope you're all doing well. Doing a good Wednesday. Thank you to Fishbulb, V-Rider Official, Always Be Clothing for the stream streaks. Thank you, Chocolate Pate the Plantain for the stream streak as well. Pete XN, thank you for 21 months. Appreciate that. Hope you're having a good evening. Thank you. Thank you, Cubano for the stream streak. Firehair, thank you for 27 months. Appreciate it. It's a Twitch sub, Jim, but not as we know it. Wishful Paul, Diagonal, Blaine, thank you for following. Honeyman, thank you for following. Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I hear it's hot. It's hot. Over in the UK right now, huh? Great. It seems like I'm going to New Orleans tomorrow, so I've been running around trying to get ready for that trip. Seems like it's hot over there too. Yes, I reviewed Star Fox. This time, my opinion was much more in line with the average consensus. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Does it unlock at midnight? Probably, huh? Good. I really liked it. Yeah, I gotta be careful though. My spice tolerance, and I don't mean like flavor wise. I mean how it messes up my Crohn's. It's getting worse. Like God, I had like one Mexican meal in LA that was kind of spicy, and I was in horrible pain for a while. So I gotta be careful about the spice level of things, which I hate because like I know people will judge me, and they don't care. They don't care. What's better, Star Fox or Super Mario Sunshine? Like which this one? I mean, this game is certainly a higher quality game. Yeah, gumbo's usually less spicy than a jambalaya. I mean, it could depend. I like jambalaya. We're going to be playing more Star Trek 25th Anniversary. This is the early 90s point-and-click adventure game based off the Star Trek original series. Fun stuff. We've beaten 2 of the episodes. Let's see if we can maybe get a couple more done. So I've been really enjoying this game. So far, the only thing I didn't like was how I was like not given as many points as I could have because not because the mission went bad, but because I didn't solve as many puzzles as possible to beat a mission. So there's that. I love Cajun spices too. Oh, well, tons of humidity. Oh, good. I mean, we're going to be inside places, you know, it'll be fine. Alrighty. But yeah, I wanted to get a stream in tonight since I'm not going to be here this weekend. I'm going to miss the rest of fishing week even, too. Can you believe it? What a bummer. I mean, I'm glad I'm going to New Orleans. Well, jalapeno flavored bad news. I mean, I love cornbread, and I like the flavor of jalapenos, but I do kind of have to avoid them these days, to be honest.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship
Our manual.
Enterprise. Its mission: to explore strange new worlds.
Here, if I try to
discover new life,
full screen this,
new civilizations.
It stops the intro. Let's enjoy the intro this time.
No man has gone before.
In its very tiny form. Oh, I love beignets. I mean, I've had a good amount of food from New Orleans through other places. Wow, wow, wow. I will be mad they're not Mickey shaped, and I will make sure to tell everybody. They'll be very impressed by that. Especially Peyton's parents. If they serve me beignets and they aren't Mickey shape, I'll be sure to make a big fuss. I think that'll impress them. Look, ABC, if you go to that convention and you happen to get Don Bluth to sign anything for Dan, or a video message for him, I'll pay you.
Demon World.
Demon World's the first one. We've done this one. I gotta go to the
Enterprise's primary mission.
How much of this do I have to do before I can load?
Captain Patterson reports
The Republic is arming
You. Load. Is this the right? Was this the right save file? God, I don't know which one I saved in. I know I'm supposed to go to Arc 7. Talk to Spock.
Federation agents report that the new
This is right.
Romulan cloaking device not only renders their ships invisible, they also won't show up on our sensors.
Sensors. Thank you, Spock. All right. We're going to Arc 7. There's something to do with Romulans. I'm not sure exactly what. Yeah, this is real Starfield. Let me consult my star map, everybody. Arc 7 is 3. Yeah. Map. No. Great. How did I pull up my map?
May I
Oh.
respectfully remind the captain that we haven't accomplished our mission.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. I accidentally told you to orbit. Right. My bad. I have controls somewhere. You think Jeff might need a longer Blake game? I mean, I don't know about long. We'll get him a good Blake game. We'll get him a good one. He's definitely due for a not an easy one. Sometimes we're like, oh, let's make it easy for this guy. That's not gonna happen. Thank you so much, Sector 7, for 13 months. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. And for navigation, that's what it is. Alright, and then, God, which one of these is it? I bet we're going to be fighting a Romulan warbird almost immediately. Whenever we teleport here. It's 3, 1. It's this guy. Alright.
We have arrived at Arc 7.
We did it.
Romulan ship decloaking, Captain.
Message from the Romulan ship, sir.
Treachery. We are aware of Federation plans. Prepare to die.
I'm shocked.
They're arming weapons, Captain.
Arming weapons.
Armor weapons, Mr. Chekhov. Shields up. Okay, where is he? I feel like that there's a little bit of space combat. I think it's fun. Oh, look at that. He's kind of invisible.
Lowering shields,
Oh, don't do that.
Raising shields.
Thank you. I got some good hits in there. Where are you? Okay, right over here somewhere. Ah, damn it, missed him. Boy, I feel like I have been shooting the hell out of him. Yeah, too much left in the tank. I think I'm playing Wing Commander, which is something else I want to do some point here. Alright, where are you? I don't even see him on the map. My sensors. There you are. Oh my god. I can take a beating. He hasn't hit me once. Oh, that's a planet. Can't. I mean, I could shoot a planet. Oh, thought I saw something. Where? We must be circling around each other, man. Wait, I see him. Ah! Oh, come on, damn it. If this was a real Star Trek fight, we would just be standing completely still shooting at each other. This is bullshit.
They activated a self-destruct device rather than be captured, Captain.
Resuming course to Arc 7, Captain.
Well, at least we got him. Yeah, some good Star Trek games. This is good.
Captain, there is an auto beacon broadcasting from the station.
There's Elite Force.
Warning.
Bridge Commander, Bridge Crew.
Regulation 342-18856.4.3. Paragraph 3. This base is currently under a Class 3 biohazard alert. All personnel are ordered to stay away from this base unless they are part of a biohazard response team.
Is that right? I think they're fibbing, personally. Let's save.
Save new game. Too many games.
I
Save
need to
new game.
delete
Cancel
some of
delete
these
previous
previous
game.
save games.
Save new game. Cancel. Delete previous. Save new game. Cancel. Delete previous.
Interesting way they have of doing this.
Save new game. Cancel. Save. Replace previous. Delete previous. Save new game. Delete previous. Save new game. Cancel. Delete previous. Save new game. Delete previous. Save new game. Delete.
There are times I kept naming things like 4 or 5. I thought that I was
Save new game.
making a new save, but I wasn't. Okay. Let's hail them.
Message from Arc 7, sir.
I am Centurion Ardea Preax of the Romulan Empire. We have discovered your genocide factory here and have summoned help to destroy it. Our lives will not be sacrificed in vain.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? Found a website recently of someone that played and ranked every single one of the US SNES games, wrote up their thoughts about them. Basics was like 5 from the bottom. Which ones were worse? Was it someone other than Spike Vegeta? Yay, never. Yeah, that was wild. God. What do you think, Spock?
Captain, sensors indicate a breathable atmosphere in the space station. It seems that whatever Arc-7's intentions, it managed to create a biohazard that is deadly to Romulans. 17 humans and 10 Romulans are on the station. The humans are all in perfect health, so it seems we can beam over without any fear of contamination.
What about you, Spock? Romulans and Vulcans have very similar biologies, right? I can't really look at these things right now. If I look like a link, it's going to destroy everything with this game. Alright. Guess we're just going to beam over then.
Captain, the shields are up.
Oh, my bad.
Lowering shields, Captain.
Thank you.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the car.
Let's see what we're going to be in for this time. Ooh, a Romulan. Oh, this is the space station. God, original series Romulan Warbirds look so stupid. Alrighty. What do we have here? You think, Spock?
Nothing unusual here, Captain, though the station's computer may be able to tell us something.
That's a good point, sir.
Spock, check out the station's computer and see what you can dig up.
Dr. Marcus Log.
No timing.
Supplemental. Continued testing of the Ouroboros virus confirms its potential harmful effects on Romulan Vulcan humanoids.
Right.
As soon as the spill has been cleaned up, we will sterilize both labs and purge the circulation system to make sure no traces of the virus will remain viable. Then all research files must be erased. We must leave no chance that this terrible accident will ever be repeated.
Doctor, you may be interested in the medical data file appended to the log.
Oh, Pit Fighter is worse. Black Action Hero, Lord of the Rings, really. That bad? Barkley Shut Up and Jam. Barkley Shut Up and Jam, is it really that bad? Bakfu, Ultraman. Balls 3D.
Now that's interesting. There's more here. All of Dr. Marcus' research data on the Ouroboros virus. Let me see. Virus growth patterns. Pneumococcal mimic affecting Romulo-Vulcan genotype. Alveoli involvement in... Boy, Jim, this bug works fast.
Is this really the time to catch up on your reading, Doctor?
Now listen here.
You told him to.
Gentlemen, I think we have more pressing problems.
Jim, there is an appended medical database online. Also, it would be useful for me to experiment on how the virus grows in the presence of different gases. I'm sure the station has the necessary equipment.
Well, all right.
You are on the bridge of the Arc 7. A Romulan bird of prey hovers menacingly on the view screen.
So no one's concerned that this virus affects Vulcans? Really?
Nothing unusual here, Captain.
What's the sense in this time?
This is a very dangerous situation, sir. We should proceed with caution.
How's this?
This is a very well-equipped laboratory, Captain. Perhaps Dr. McCoy could be of some use here.
Jim, this lab is incredible. What I wouldn't give to have some of this equipment on the Enterprise.
Alright, what do we have?
This is a distillator used to isolate specific compounds from raw material.
Okay.
This is a research lab with lots of expensive equipment.
I mean, the other one is definitely probably not good.
A
but...
device to accelerate neutrinos. Not much good for anything else. This is a standard door leading to another room on this deck.
I mean, I don't know what we can do in here yet.
Save new game. Replace previous.
Let's explore a little bit longer. Well, we can make water.
This is a synthesizer used to combine and replicate chemicals and form new compounds. This particular model has twin gas feeds. This is a synthesizer used to combine. This is a storage cabinet. A small field effect anti-gravity unit useful for moving things too heavy to lift and carry by muscle alone.
Oh, fun.
You take the anti-grav unit.
If I'd rolled, I've been led to believe it's terrible.
You fail to obtain anything. A gas tank marked H2. An RDAC 1000. The last word in molecular replication, one of the most advanced pieces of scientific equipment ever constructed.
It would take us several hours to get this machine working, Captain. I do not believe we will need it. The synthesis chamber should be able to give us what we need.
What do we need?
This is the door to the synthesis chamber.
In principle, Captain, this device is quite simple. When this chamber is empty and gas tanks are attached, it will combine the gases to make new compounds. If chemicals are placed in the chamber, the machine will combine them with the gases to create new materials.
Next, he'll tell us the DNA molecule is simple.
Compared to many molecular models, it is, Doctor.
I rest my case.
You fail to obtain anything. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
There is nothing at the moment for me to do there.
Nothing happens.
Captain, I see the problem. The gas feeds are turned off.
Oh, thank you, Spock.
There is nothing at the moment.
The can looks much too heavy to carry, sir.
Wow. Am I about to blow your mind?
You attach the anti-grav unit to the gas tank. It can be moved freely.
Well, I don't know why we want to do that, but we did. We don't want to open this door. I mean, I have a bunch of O2 now. Who knows why?
Careful, Jim. That's a distillator, not a can opener.
Hey, said a thing.
This large, bulky canister contains oxygen in gaseous form.
It sure does. We all know what we're doing with that.
Nothing happens.
This isn't a microwave, Jim. This is a delicate piece of equipment.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
Nothing happens. This is an access ladder. It appears to lead to the next deck below.
Oh, well, let's try that then.
Watch out, sir. It looks like the Romulans have taken control of the lower decks.
Jesus.
This is a research lab with lots of expensive equipment. This is a research lab with
Lots of expensive equipment. I got it. This a door? Yes, it is. Oh, look at that. It's a loop.
one Starfleet issue sign.
Could be tricordering things.
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain.
Damn it! I knew this was bad.
This is an outstanding facility, Captain.
No one was paying attention? Nobody thought that this would be dangerous for Spock?
Spock, check out the station's
I know we already did that.
Please select subject file. Ouroboros virus.
Oh, there's more?
TLT nitrous ammonia. Dihydrogen oxide. Exit. Dihydrogen oxide. Dihydrogen oxide. A colorless, tasteless, non-flammable compound, H2O. Water. Liquid, solid, or gaseous at 1 atm. Temperature scales defined in most humanoid cultures by state shift of pure water. Please select subject file. Ouroboros virus. Ouroboros virus. Atypical growth patterns for L-type virus. Opportunistic pneumococcal mimic affecting Romulo-Vulcan genotype. Etiology: contact or airborne vector with alveoli microcollapse. Please select subject file. Ouroboros TLTDH gas. The chemical compound: tantalum, bilithium, phthalo, dihydroxide. Colorless, odorless, non-flammable, gaseous at 1 atm, and temperatures within a human norm. Early anesthetic among Vulcans and Romulans, in whom it produces laughter, feelings of exhilaration, euphoria, sometimes
Alright, we want to make this to subdue the Romulans down there.
In pre-space flight era, a social problem evolved when crude TLTDH became popular to cook up from non-conductive tantalithial compounds commonly used as electrical insulation. Please select subject file.
How do I make it?
TLTDH nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide. A colorless non-flammable compound.
Yes, this is the human equivalent.
Gaseous at 1 atm. Please select subject file. Ouroboros nitrous ammonia. Dihydrogen ammonia. A colorless pungent compound, NH3. A common byproduct of metabolism in carbon-based life forms. Liquid or gaseous at 1 atm. Please select subject file. Ouroboros TLTDH gas. The chemical compound: tantalum, bilithium, phthalo, dihydroxide. Colorless, odorless, non-flammable, gaseous at 1 atm.
I mean, how are we going to make
and
that?
Temperatures within a human norm. Please select subject file. Ouroboros nitrous ammonia dihydrogen oxide.
Well, I do need to make dihydrogen oxide, aka water.
Please select Ouroboros ammonia exit.
I need to make a new save because I think there is a time limit here because Spock is eventually just going to fucking die if I don't do this fast enough. I mean, am I just like swapping these? I don't know if I can. Maybe I can.
You attach the anti-grav unit to the...
So?
Nothing happens.
I mean, nothing happens. There you go.
You install the gas tank to the synthesizer's feed lines. You install the gas tank to the synthesizer's feed lines.
Okay.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, this was said before. Like they're closed.
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain.
Bucky, open that.
The can looks much too heavy to carry, sir.
I don't want to carry it. I want to open it or turn it on. Just so I can shoot it.
That action would be complete.
Alright, I'll use kill setting.
Jim, you should relax a little more.
Alright, everyone's a critic.
A gas tank marked H2.
Is there a fishing episode of OG Star Trek? I remember too much fishing happening. Must have been something. Yeah, they all have the tight suits like 709 right now. Okay. Yeah, you do it, Spock. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Nothing happens.
I fail to see the...
Nothing happens.
Why not?
An RDAC 1000. The last word in molecular replication, one of the most advanced...
It would take us several hours to get...
Right. So he doesn't want us to use that.
This is a synthesizer used to combine and replicate chemicals and form new compounds.
Right.
This is a synthesizer used to combine and
Why are they just like not hitting the right pixel?
You look but see nothing of note. You look but see nothing of note.
Gotta really hit this thing. Come on, turn it on.
The can looks much too...
There is nothing at the moment. There is nothing at the moment for me to do there. There is nothing at the moment.
So like I can touch this valve separate.
There's nothing at the moment for me to do there.
Of the canisters.
The can looks much...
But he doesn't seem to care, which seems strange to me. Should I make Spock do it?
I fail to see the
No.
logic in that.
Actually, Jake Sisko's fishing on the holodeck in the first episode of Deep Space Nine, I just remembered. So take that. There we go. I'm a true nerd. Why can't I do anything with this?
Nothing to report, Captain.
Like, it's not like I would need anything to turn these things on. Spock, do something.
Go bother Spock. This is the
Alright.
kind of place he likes.
This is an outstanding facility, Captain.
Thanks, Spock. Very useful.
This is a synthesizer used to... This is a synthesizer... This is a synthesizer used to combine and replicate This is a synthesizer... An RDAC 1000.
It would take us...
It's like... I don't think there's anything I could, like, pick up here.
This nozzle is where anti-agents are placed. This chamber is where virus samples are placed.
Yeah, I don't have any of this.
This is a large engineering safety door with heavy shielding. Its entry codes seem to be breached.
Oh, I even realized that was a door. Ah, here we go. I know what that's for.
You pick up a large wrench. This is the engineering center for the ARC-7 space station. Turbines of a Cochrane 500 class
Hey,
fusion
Cochrane.
rod, manufactured over a century ago on Alpha Centauri.
I didn't realize that they use these old fusion reactors anymore.
Actually, Doctor, as Mr. Scott would tell you, the Cochrane 500 is renowned for its reliability and perfectly suited for a station of this size.
Hey, this thing's real old, isn't it?
Thanks for the input there.
Turbines of a Cochrane 5.
I didn't realize it.
Actually,
Hey.
This is a service access panel permitting used up or worn materials to be replaced. Turbines of a Cochrane 500.
I didn't realize.
Actually, Doc.
Hey, this.
I fail to see the logic in that.
Let's leave. Yeah, especially Mass Effect 1, that does have a bit of a Star Trek quality to it. Especially like that long section just kind of going around that space station. Cool stuff. Alright.
It's what I was afraid of, Jim. I think Spock is getting worse.
Gas feed is on.
Tell him to leave.
Gas feed is off.
Oh, it's just like one for both.
Gas feed is on. The machine synthesizes a liter of pure water.
A clean drink of water, but I don't see its application in the context of our difficulties, Captain.
No. We'll be happy to have it, I think.
You take a 1-liter container of pure water.
Now, I need to find that virus somehow. Hey, babe. Let's go. I bought new shoes. I did that. I have an early flight tomorrow. It's not insanely early, so it's not one of, that's, you know, it's like, I can actually go to bed. Sometimes the flight is like at 6 or 7 a.m. It's like, am I even going to sleep by the time I have to get to the airport? Okay, now where can I get a sample?
This chamber is where virus The chamber is empty.
Okay.
This chamber is where virus samples are placed.
Oh, now I just need a virus sample, which I currently do not have.
This is a distillator used to isolate specific compounds from raw material.
Okay. I could probably get the virus. I get, like, Spock to cough into a tissue or something?
1 Starfleet issue medical kit.
Maybe I should have the doctor give Spock a checkup.
I don't have the proper medicine to cure him, Jim.
Well, give him a little look-see with this.
It's what I was afraid of, Jim. I think Spock is getting worse.
Well, mine's at 10 also, but I'm going to have a longer flight. It's a good thing we saved when we did, because we're going to like figure out what we need to do here and then speed run through it before Spock dies, is my guess. Yeah, there's got to be something else here. We kind of did nothing to pick up a wrench.
This is the engineering...
No.
The panel opens.
Oh.
You see a gas tank labeled N2 with its feed lines running deeper into the wall.
Alright.
The anti-grav unit hums and emits the stink of ozone before it fail-safes.
The unit cannot lift something fastened to the body of the station, Captain. The tank must be detached first.
Oh, well. Good
Nothing
thing
happens.
I have a wrench.
The tank detaches easily.
I guess this made it easier to replace the tank every so often, eh, Captain?
Guess so.
You attach the anti-grav unit to the gas tank. It can be moved freely.
It sure beats hauling it around on our backs, sir.
Nothing happens.
Alright, why do I want nitrogen?
Spock, check out the station's computer.
Please select subject file. Ouroboros virus. Ouroboros virus. Atypical growth patterns for L-type virus. Opportunistic pneumococcal mimic affecting Romulo-Vulcan genotype.
Alright.
Please select subject file. Ouroboros
This computer voice sounds very familiar, by the way.
TLTDH gas. The chemical compound. Tantalum, bilithium, phthalo, dihydroxide. Colorless, odorless, non-flammable, gaseous at 1 atm,
Tantalum,
and temperatures
bilithium.
within a human norm.
I don't think I can make this.
Early anesthetic among Vulcan. Please select subject file.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like GLaDOS, doesn't it?
TL nitrous oxide.
I could make nitrous oxide, but I don't know why.
Nitrous oxide. A colorless non-flammable compound. N2O. Gaseous at 1 atm, and temperatures within a human norm. Early anesthetic among humans, in whom it produces laughter, feelings of exhilaration, euphoria. Please select subject file. Ouroboros T nitrous oxide. Ammonia. Ammonia. A colorless pungent compound, NH3. A common byproduct of metabolism in carbon-based life forms. Liquid or gaseous at 1 atm.
Can make ammonia.
Compounds widely used in agricultural, medical, and industrial applications.
Okay, why would I
Please
need
select subject file.
ammonia?
Ouroboros virus. TLTDH gas. The chemical compound. Tantalum, bilithium, phthalo, dihydroxide. Colorless.
Like, I don't...
Odorless. Non-flammable.
I mean, phthalo dihydroxide is water, I think, right?
Temperatures within a human norm. Early
But
anesthetic
bilithium,
among
or
Vulcans and
tantalum
Romulans,
bilithium, I don't know what that is. I don't think that's some other word
feelings of
for
exhilaration,
anything else I can do.
euphoria, sometimes leading to unconsciousness. In post-industrial pre-spaceflight era, a social problem evolved when crude TLTDH became popular to cook up from non-conductive tantolithial compounds commonly used as electrical insulation. Please
All right.
select subject
Compounds
file.
used as electrical
Ouroboros
insulation.
virus.
That's important. So if I found something used for electrical insulation, I could then get something from that to help me make this gas.
Nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide.
I still don't know why I would
Please
want to make
select
ammonia or
Ouroboros
nitrous oxide.
Nitrous ammonia. Ammonia. A colorless pungent compound, NH3. A common byproduct of metabolism in carbon-based life forms. Please select subject file. Ouroboros virus. Ouroboros. Please select subject file. Ouroboros T ammonia dihydrogen oxide. Exit.
I mean, I must need to make ammonia.
Gas feed is off.
May as well make.
You attach the anti-grav unit to the gas tank.
May as well make
It can
nitrous
be moved
oxide in case
freely.
I need that too.
Nothing
It's good.
happens.
I'm glad I paid a little bit of attention in chemistry class.
You install the gas tank to the synthesizer. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Passing it. There we go.
Gas feed is on. The machine synthesizes a liter of nitrous oxide.
Be careful with that canister, Captain. I think you would not care to fall under the effects of laughing gas in these straits.
Do you mean to say it's undignified, Spock?
It is, at the least, inappropriate for a starship crew on duty, Doctor.
it.
You take a 1-liter container of nitrous oxide.
Okay.
Gas feed is off.
Now nitrous.
The can looks much...
Gas feed is on.
The can looks much too heavy.
Right.
I would not recommend removing the canister without...
I did.
Gas feed is...
The can looks much too...
So stupid. There's an order of operations here that keeps screwing up. There we go.
You attach the anti-grav unit to the gas...
Oh, god damn it. Please don't take Spock from me. I can't handle that.
Nothing happens. You install the gas tank to the... Gas feed is on.
Here's just
The machine synthesizes a liter of ammonia.
I hope you don't want me to swab the deck with that, Captain.
I think we can set this aside and not worry about it.
Oh. It's implied that this is not important.
You take a 1-liter container of ammonia.
Alright. What happens if I make something with HN? Or ON.
Gas feed is off. You attach the anti-grav. You attach the anti-grav. You install the gas tank.
Wait, no, then the second slot.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Pick it up.
You attach the anti-grav unit to the gas. You install the gas tank.
Must be a timing thing.
You attach the anti-grav unit.
Check Specs was in
Nothing
fact a real
happens.
game. You didn't hallucinate that.
You install the gas tank. You install the gas
Okay.
tank.
Let's see what this makes.
Gas feed is on. The machine synthesizes a liter of nitrous oxide.
Be careful with that
Still
canister,
nitrous
Captain.
oxide, huh?
You mean to...
It is, at the
I guess
least,
the
inappropriate for us.
order doesn't really matter, huh? Alright, alright, I have all 3 things I can make then.
This nozzle is where anti-agents are placed.
Hey, okay, Manus, thank you so much for 33 months. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. Okay. I need to get, like, electrical plating somewhere. Or something. With the freezer. It's a freezer?
This is a science lab.
Oh, look at that
This
freeze
is a
unit.
large
Good eye. I never did read those. Alright, what do you have here?
This refrigerator has a number of specimen dishes inside.
No, I didn't want you to close it. I could have done that.
There's nothing there requiring a ship.
Nothing to report.
You take the Ouroboros virus culture.
All right, there we go.
Careful, Jim.
When you do it.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
Nothing happens. This is a distillator used to isolate specific compounds from raw material.
Okay, so that's not necessary.
This device is used for the rapid reproduction of virus cultures in the presence of suspected anti-agents. There are many virus culture dishes. Save new game.
The virus has spread to me, Captain. I suggest you concentrate your efforts on the problem.
Oh no. Well, why do we turn this thing on?
You take the Ouroboros virus culture.
No. I liked where it was.
This device is used for the rapid reproduction of virus cultures in the presence of suspected anti-agents.
I don't really understand how this works.
This nozzle is where anti-agents are placed. This chamber is where virus samples are placed.
Anti-agents. There's this water that I put in, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
You take the Ouroboros.
Captain, I believe Dr. McCoy has...
Oh, okay, good.
This isn't the result I was hoping for, Jim. Except for the Ouroboros virus, I'm not picking up.
Okay. I'll just try some other things I have. Like this one.
A loud hissing fills the room.
You look troubled, Captain.
Whoops. Uh-oh. Well, I don't want you to open it.
A loud hissing.
No, don't do that. For God's sakes.
The virus has spread.
Done.
Okay. Don't click on myself.
This isn't the result I was...
Not the result we were hoping for.
Done. This nozzle is where anti...
Eureka, this is it, Jim.
Okay.
There's not much, but all I need to do is synthesize some more, and we're in business.
You retrieve the Ouroboros cure sample.
Jim, we need to synthesize more to make a serum before we can use it.
Serum? What was that reading?
Careful, Jim.
Alright, well, how do we synthesize more?
This is a distillator used to isolate specific compounds from raw material. This device is used for the rapid reproduction of virus cultures in the presence of suspected anti-agents.
Okay. It feels like we're so close.
This is Dr. McCoy's cure for the Ouroboros toxin.
Can we just give a little bit to Spock right now, maybe?
This is Dr. McCoy's cure. Nothing happens.
That's for virus cultures only, Jim.
Oh, where do you think I should put it then?
Nothing happens.
Jim, we need to synthesize more to make the serum before we can use it.
Serum? What the hell was that? Where the hell do you...
An RDAC 1000. The last word in
It would take us several hours to get this machine working, Captain. I do not believe we will need it.
The synthesis chamber.
This is a synthesizer used to combine and replicate chemicals and form new compounds. This particular model...
There's not... Oh, there's a Dragon's Lair NES game.
This is the engineer... You need something to pry this open.
Okay. Okay, I know what this is for.
The panel is open. You see vast quantities of dust and stripped insulation from wiring repairs made to the console in the past.
Is this something?
You grab a handful of insulation.
Ah, dust. Worried about Spock dying still?
You have distilled a quantity of polyberyl carbonate.
Okay.
Done.
Where's the carbonate? Must be this.
That's for virus cultures only, Jim.
This container contains polyberyl carbonate produced from insulation.
Cool, cool, cool.
Done.
Where, now how can I combine the water and that, or can I just do it in my inventory? I might be able to. No. So close to something here.
This container contains polyberyl carbonate produced from insulation.
What's that? Bucky, read the computer again. I know you're dying, but...
Please select subject file. Ouroboros TLTDH gas. The chemical compound. Tantalum, bilithium, phthalo, dihydroxide. Colorless, odorless, non-flammable, gaseous at 1 atm, and temperatures within a human norm. Early anesthetic among Vulcans and Romulans, in whom it produces laughter, feelings of exhilaration, euphoria, sometimes leading. Please select Ouroboros. Please select subject file. Ouroboros ammonia dihide exit. Ouroboros exit.
Just shoot it? Nope. How am I gonna cook it? I don't have any fires or anything. I don't see any heat sources. Log it. What is this fucking laser up there? Maybe that's important.
Nothing happens.
Like, isn't this a furnace? Well.
A device to accelerate neutrinos. Not much good for anything else. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
A Hawking neutrino accelerator. It is one of the finest in production today.
Well, we should use it. Maybe. But he won't let me.
Nothing happens.
Come on. You think the laser shoots down the table? Oh, you think it's... Wait, you think it's like lined up with this thing? Kind of looks further back, like it's looks further to the wall to me, but I don't know. Perspective can be weird. And this is nothing.
This is a research lab.
Can I like go over here? Is there more over here? I just not walked far enough? No. The ladder goes down to a place where Romulans are. So I'm trying... I can turn... I could somehow turn this into basically Romulan laughing gas. I just don't really know how.
Fascinating, Captain. But it doesn't appear to get us any closer to our goal.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Please select subject file.
Oh man.
Ouroboros, TL, nitric ammonia, dihydrogen oxide, nitrous oxide, ammonia, dihydrogen oxide, nitrous TL, TDH gas. The chemical compound, tantalum, bilithium, phthalo, dihydroxide, colorless, odorless, non-flammable. Please select Ouroboros.
Yeah, the
Please
door.
select subject Ouroboros.
The door on the right goes
Exit.
just to that room.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
I combine this shit with everything I have. I tried phasering it, which seemed to make some sense to me, but it didn't do anything.
Nothing happens.
Right side, Spock's not getting any worse. You can make it really cold.
Nothing happens.
Nah. Doesn't want to do that.
This is a distillator used to isolate specific compounds from a device to accelerate neutrinos. Not much good.
Try rubbing it quick with my hands. I would. Oh, if I could.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
That's for virus culture. That nozzle is for anti-agents only, Jim.
What even is an anti-agent, Doctor? Nobody knows.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Fascinating, Captain.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
There's gotta be something. There's gotta be something hot on this space station. I mean, they sure talked a lot about the things in engineering here.
Turbines of a Cochrane 500 class fusion drive, manufactured over a century ago on Alpha Centauri.
I didn't realize that they use these old fusion.
Actually, Doctor, as Mr.
I mean, a fusion reactor's gotta be kind of hot, but I don't really see, like, a place for it. That almost looks like a window, but I can't open that. I mean, that wheel there sure looks ridiculous.
Nothing happens.
But I haven't been able to actually do anything with it. Spock, turn that.
The fusion reactor is functioning at peak efficiency. There is no need to tamper with its current operation.
Bullshit.
There is a pile of stripped insulation that fell out of the engineering access panel.
Put it back in here. Is it gonna get warm in there?
Nothing happens.
No.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Use the toaster oven I want to.
This is the engineering center for the ARC-7 space station.
Where's that when I try to use this, it doesn't even, like, let me.
I certainly see nothing there calling for a ship stop. I don't have the proper...
Nothing unusual is detected. The fusion reactor is functioning at peak efficiency.
Listen, I don't know. If anyone's got a nudge, I might take it, but all good if not. Figure it out. Fortunately, this game's so obscure. It's not one everyone's like, I've played this game. I know what to do. Some people watch Nextlander play it, but they don't seem to remember.
This computer terminal is linked into the station's main...
Now we have it right here.
That's for virus. That nozzle is for anti-agents only, Jim.
Okay, I bet the thing to synthesize the cures down here. So I just need to make this laughing gas stuff, and then the Romulans will be out of commission. And we'll be safe. Where I use the canisters, you think I can put something in there? Let's see.
Fascinating, Captain. Fascinating, Captain. Fascinating, Captain. But it doesn't appear to get...
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Fascinating, Captain.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Fascinating, Captain. Fascinating, Captain. Fascinating, Captain.
Nothing happens.
Fascinating, Captain. Is it, Spock? Is it that fascinating?
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
You get this out of the way.
You take a 1-liter container of nitrous oxide.
Okay. Now, if I put water into that, I think I'll have what I want. That was the issue, is that thing was fucking blocking it. Okay. I think we got something here.
I would not recommend...
Alright.
Gas feed is off.
The can looks much too heavy to...
Alright.
You attach the anti-grav... You install the gas tank.
Right. Yeah, cremate this could just like...
Game over.
Ah, fucking hell, Spock.
Saved game. Restart the game. Load a quit the
Spock's
game.
dead. Right. Let's move faster.
The virus has spread to me, Captain. I suggest you concentrate your...
Okay, what do we have right now? We have... We don't have anything. We don't even have the cure yet. Okay. Quickly. I have an earlier save I can do if I really need to go back. I know what I need to do. This shouldn't be too bad.
Eureka, this is it.
Okay.
The panel is open.
If I be Spock, I'd be really mad that I died while, like, my comrades were holding the cure.
You grab a handful
and also
of
made me go to a station that was poisonous to me. We haven't really had Spock do much yet but turn on the computer. Was it really that imperative that he's here?
We have distilled a quantity.
We're getting there.
You take a
hey,
container of nitrous
IYE
oxide.
Immortal. Thanks for subscribing Prime. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you.
Nothing happens.
By the way, Jim.
I would not recommend...
Right.
Gas feed is off. You attach the anti-grav.
Okay, now the H.
You install the gas.
Okay. Should still make water.
Nothing happens.
I mean, nothing happens. Does it have to be in the right order? I thought it didn't.
You attach the anti-grav. You attach the anti-grav.
Oh, I never... Right, I didn't lock it. That's all I didn't do there, right? Which animal doctor? I picked the... Watch the polar bear one. It was very good. It was sad sometimes, but it was cool.
You install the gas tank.
You guys won't believe something's happening to the climate that's making it hard for the polar bears, but we have no idea what it is.
Install the gas.
Could be anything.
Gas feed is on.
Okay.
The machine synthesizes 1 liter
Hell
of
yeah.
TLTDH.
An unusual compound, Captain. It can induce laughter and feelings of exhilaration in some, much the way nitrous oxide affects humans.
It doesn't affect Vulcans, of course.
Actually, Doctor, both Romulans and Vulcans suffer its effects.
Why, that's just dandy. Vulcan laughing gas.
Please, Doctor, this is not a laughing
Please,
matter.
Doctor, I'm dying. All right.
You take a 1 liter container of TLTDH.
All right, come on, let's go. Hurry. Down
A
it
loud
goes.
hissing fills the room.
Whoops. No. Come on. What are we doing, guys? Did I use it up? Maybe it worked. Let's see. Oh, good. Use the fucking... Yeah. Alright, it did. Good.
These Romulans are totally out of it. Save new game.
Hello?
Hey, would you please untie us?
Jim, it's you. Please untie us.
Is it that Dr. Marcus?
Thank God it's you, Jim. I'm so glad you came.
It's about time someone got here.
Anthony and I will look after these Romulans, Jim. Dr. McCoy, we could use your expertise on discovering a cure for the virus. All our equipment is at your disposal.
We have a cure. We just need to synthesize it. Oh shit, we don't have a cure. Forgot to make it.
Why do they call you Bones, Doctor?
Oh god, he's going crazy, isn't he? What's my cure? Did I not, like, pick it out of the machine? Flex
You retrieve the
Retro,
Ouroboros
thank you so much
cure
for
sample.
14 months. Communicator check 1212. This is Bones McCoy on the line to Sulu. Okay, I like it. Hope you're doing well. Okay.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Jim, we need to synthesize.
Nothing happens.
You do something, Doctor.
I certainly see nothing there calling for ships, Doctor. I certainly see nothing.
Really?
I fail to see the... Fascinating. This device contains over 10 million forms of life. Patterns I have never seen before.
We call this the Cradle, Mr. Spock. One day I hope something wonderful would be produced here.
Is this a Wrath of Khan reference? This is a Genesis thing?
How many admirals does it take to wire in a logic transmogrifier?
That guy's going crazy.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a diplomat. These people will be fine. I've got to try to save the Romulans.
Then go do it.
Some odd-looking equipment connected to the torpedo.
What does this stuff do? What's going on here?
We're conducting research into the origins of life in the universe. This is our equipment. We believe that, well, I guess you don't have the time. You can get the background in my doctoral thesis.
Yep, that's Genesis.
Some odd-looking equipment.
What is this stuff?
We're conducting research.
Fascinating. I am experiencing an urge to laugh.
Oh boy. Is there a synthesizer somewhere? Okay. I just still don't know how to actually make a cure. The issue. So close. Otherwise.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
It must involve that same machine, honestly. Yep. All right. I have no idea what I'm supposed to put in this.
New game.
Let's water, right? Sure.
The machine synthesizes a quantity of wet gray goo.
We must be doing something wrong, Jim.
We sure must be. Probably ammonia, right? Let's load that. What's those, Spock?
Gas feed is off.
Pretty much the whole crew is us, the original voices.
You attach the anti-grav unit to the gas tank. It can be moved freely.
Romulan laughing gas. My father would never approve.
You attach the anti-grav...
Ammonia was, hydrogen and nitrogen? Yeah.
Nothing happens. You install the gas tank. You install the gas...
Jim, is this how you feel on shore leave?
Gas feed is on.
Look, I'm happy you're high, Spock, but not right now. Okay.
You take the hypo with Ouroboros toxin cure.
Spock! You're free!
There. You're now cured.
Thank you, Doctor.
Finally, a human response.
Alright. Let's go,
Fascinating. I am experiencing an urge to laugh.
Let's go shoot up those Romulans, I guess. Don't want him to die. Go, one for you. One for you. Whew.
The Romulans stir weakly, then begin to get up. They've all been cured.
They're severely dehydrated, but they'll live. We got to them in time.
I know how to make water.
Nothing happens. The Romulan Preax stirs weakly, then begins to get up. He has been cured.
He's severely dehydrated, but he'll live.
I have called off the Romulan attack on this station, Kirk. I believed your virus was some kind of deliberate attack, but your great honor and compassion have convinced me otherwise.
You also conducted yourself in the most honorable fashion, Centurion Preax. You may return to Romulan space without Federation interference. I assure you, the Federation would never undertake such a foul program. It was all an accident, right, Dr. Marcus? Save it for someone who's buying, Preax. Leave Federation space immediately or we'll scatter your atoms across the quadrant. You also conducted yourself in the most honorable fashion, Centurion Preax. I assure you, the Federation would never undertake such a foul program. It was all an accident.
Absolutely. We've already destroyed all cultures and purged the data files. This will never happen again.
You are an honorable adversary, Kirk. Jolon true.
You are also a worthy opponent, Preax. May you live long and prosper.
You'll never cease to amaze me, Jim.
Goodbye, Carol.
Goodbye, Jim.
Well, gentlemen, let's go home.
We should make a sun sometime. Oh, wait, maybe we already did. All right, okay, let's go.
Message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
All right,
we have read your report on the problems at Arc 7.
I'll take 2 points.
Performance at 79%. You and your crew received 2 commendation points. Well done, Captain. Keep up the good work.
Not sure what else I could have done there except maybe do it faster.
I'll see Carol again.
Oh, you
If
will.
you don't, you can always drown your sorrow in some Romulan ale.
That's illegal, Bones.
Tell that to the Romulans, Jim. I found a whole case they brought on board the Arc 7.
It'll never replace Scotch, Captain.
Oh, Scotty.
Scott.
Oh, you drunkards. Remember, just only drink on duty a little bit.
Another fine mess.
That's a fun name for episode.
Priority message from Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have reports of an undetermined number of Elasi pirate ships in your sector.
Not the Elasi again.
You are ordered to proceed to the Harlequin star system
Harlequin.
immediately and investigate. Starfleet out.
Yeah, save.
Save new game. Replace.
Alright. Where's the Harlequin system? Actually, let me go to the bathroom while I look that up. Be right back. Enjoy the beeps and boops. By the way, the official enhanced Twitter account found out about the mean things Jeff and I said about Rez. That's funny. Alright. This one. Guess they're gonna attack me.
We have arrived at Harlequin. 2 Elasi ships approaching.
2.
Captain. I'm also picking up an ion trail from a small ship, probably a scout. It left the sector just as we arrived. It appears likely that we interrupted the pirate attack on the scout.
Message from the Elasi captain, sir.
We'll show you what happens to those who come between us and our prey. Prepare to die!
Oh, Christ, you guys.
Raising shields. Arming weapons.
Target analysis off.
Okay.
Target analysis off.
Repairs. How do I do repairs? 1 second. Got some damage to the ship. The damage control. It's then the cells I'm a little worried about.
Aye, sir.
Hey, stop that. Come on.
Engines repaired, Captain.
That's something. What did I say that button was? Oh, D for damage, right? Work on our shield, Scotty.
Aye, sir.
Ah! Jesus, you guys are crazy. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Scotty, the shields. You fixed the screen? There's a very big design flaw that this can happen. Shields are not looking great. I'll wait for Scotty to finish repairing the shields. There you are. That's it. I got some hits in, but not enough. Getting there. Come on. God, one of these things must be close. Over here. Are they going away? Is that guy fleeing? Oh my god, our shields are almost down. Come on, Scotty. At least the view screen's working again. There you are. Oh, nice, Mike. Okay. Looking okay. Our shields are largely repaired. Nice. Come on. Going too fast. There we go. There we go. Oh, I thought that was good. Ah, up. Where are these pirates getting their ships from? Oh my god. Is he fleeing?
The ion trail of the scout ship leads to the Harappan system, Captain.
Picking up the subspace signal, sir. It's very weak.
Patch it through, Lieutenant.
Hairpin.
Surprise? Is that you, Kirk?
Mud?
Friend Kirk. I can't believe they sent you to rescue me.
That sounds like... No, please, say it isn't.
I have a visual signal now, sir.
You've come to help me, Kirk. You've got to help me. I have had a terrible misunderstanding with the Alasi traders. They're out to kill me, Kirk.
Fancy that.
No, see here, Kirk. I sold my Mud's miracle digrammers in perfectly good faith. A little sideline work, you understand. Now they won't leave me alone. No. They're tracking me again. I can't send coordinates. You have to come protect me. I'm a registered ship with the Federation. Mud out.
I'm afraid his ship is registered, Captain, and regulations require we respond to his distress signal.
Afraid we can't just leave him to die, Captain.
Computer analysis suggests 91.331% chance that the speaker was Harcourt Fenton Mudd, Harry, to his friends.
May I respectfully remind the captain?
Sorry. Oops, sorry.
Save new game.
Oops.
Save new replace.
Yeah, where did he say he was again? Did anybody pick that up? What system was it? Spock, can't you tell me? Horrorcore? Fuck. That's where I was. I was just trying to leave. Parappa.
We're off course, Captain.
There are Elasi ships closing.
This is a mess.
Damage control standing by.
Message
on screen.
It shouldn't have come.
Okay. Parappa. Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. Oh. That makes sense. It's the one right next to us. Hail them.
Our orders are to render whatever assistance we can, sir.
The Harappan system is binary, with a neutron pulsar in the vicinity causing difficulties with our sensor readings. I was able to trace Mudd's transmission to this derelict.
So, our friend Harry is on board, no doubt. Can you tell me anything about the derelict vessel?
There are 6 major subdivisions within the hull. All systems are down. There is, however, limited atmospheric integrity. The environment appears to be the result of a temporary save-a-ship life support generator. Not exactly a reliable model, Captain.
We're being hailed by Mr. Mudd, sir.
Captain, you came. I'm touched.
Harry, I have to be touched in the head to have anything to do with you. How's your lovely wife, Stella?
That was a dirty trick, Kirk. However, you'll be glad to know I let bygones be bygones. If the Enterprise will stand by and fend off any pirates, I'll just finish my salvage operations here and be out of your hair.
Computer records document that you filed notice that there was no salvageable value here, and that the ship was a common passenger tug.
Did I say no value? Minimal, Captain, minimal. I meant nothing looked promising when I filed the report. We both know my judgment isn't always perfect.
I would say your judgment is never perfect, Harry. Perhaps we should beam over and judge the situation for ourselves.
Ah, that isn't necessary, Kirk. I can handle... I mean...
Harry, relax. We're old friends. We'll understand if things aren't picked up and looking neat. Kirk out.
Alrighty. Let's, beam.
Lowering shields, Captain.
The Infortuna, thank you so much for subscribing, Prime. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much.
Aye, sir.
Repair that. We're going to, gonna beam down.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
Welcome, Captain Kirk. So glad you're here. The Elazi have been terrible trouble to me.
Well, you're terrible trouble to me, Harry. Tell me what this is all about.
I happened upon this ship not long ago and dutifully registered as salvage, mind you. In the hold here, I discovered one of these devices in that box over there. When I tried one on a wall, it floated off the grease and dirt. Perfect for cleaning, near as I could see. I peddled a few of these Mudd's Miracle Degrimers, and everything was going perfectly well.
Then something went wrong, right?
Actually, no, Doctor, not then. I'd started offering a few other little items I found. Mudd's Limited Coffee Substitute, a great little specialty item. Lenses to affirm packaging build-your-own telescope kits. The collection of novelty paints, things like that. All of a sudden, the Elazi pirates are asking for me in every quadrant, wanting to know where I'm getting my goods.
I see, Harry. Well, we'll look around here while the Enterprise remains close by.
Look around all you like, Captain, but I'll be keeping an eye on you. I've registered this derelict as my salvage, and I don't want you running off with all my prizes.
Harry, as official representatives of the Federation and of Starfleet, we recognize your rights to legitimate salvage. Need I say more?
I understand perfectly, Captain. Carry on, Captain.
Alrighty.
Save new game. Replace
Let's take a look. This. Bullets?
These are computer memory transfer media, probably designed for use with the alien computer
the
system.
USB sticks.
a small energy device with a flanged opening at the front, about the size of one's thumbnail.
What the heck is that?
A small energy.
Why did you read that one instead of Spock?
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report.
Done. Done.
Interesting.
Kirk, my friend! When have I ever given you the slightest bit of trouble?
There was the time that you tried to commandeer the Enterprise to sell Wive to miners. And then there was the time you stole the Enterprise to exchange us for androids, who were holding you prisoner.
Perhaps there have been a few minor misunderstandings.
Don't push your luck, Harry.
Alright, let's see what else we got. Jesus.
An elaborate piece of alien-looking machinery.
A weapons delivery system. It appears to be an accessory tied directly to the alien equivalent of our ship's phasers and photon torpedoes. The control panel has power running to it, Captain. Unique, Captain. I believe these are self-referencing packed quantum cartridges.
Power boosters! Oh, I've read about those, but they're just theoretical.
Evidently, these are more than theoretical, Lieutenant Buchert. The energy initially released is infinitesimally small, but boosts itself until the power finally released is comparable to our photon torpedoes.
The technical journals discussing the possibilities indicated it would create a weapon of greater range than those we have now, if not a greater punch.
The machinery to deliver these cartridges would be an engineering feat as well, Captain. It seems to be part of the loading system for the weapon. It is also fully functional.
Just like Data.
Unique, Captain. I believe these are...
Power boost!
Evidently,
the technical journal...
The machinery... I fail to see...
3 triangular blue buttons.
Okay. Interesting room.
This seems to be the main monitoring station for the beds. Above it is some sort of dispensary.
Oh, it's like alien.
Small containers of oddly colored liquids.
Probably their nutrition.
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report.
Really?
Nothing to report.
There's nothing there required.
I fail to see the...
Jim, these look like the capsules we might use in a hypo. I wouldn't recommend experimenting with them, though. Alien physiology or not, you can never be sure what unusual chemicals will do to the human body. We won't be able to operate any of this equipment unless we can learn...
Fair. Jesus.
You see a plain gray screen. A control console from which operators run the ship. You look but see nothing of note. Mr. Spock, Vulcan's finest contribution to Starfleet.
We've done quite well so far, Captain.
In spite of Harry Mudd.
Speak of the devil. Where is that little angel? Boldly go where no man has gone before. We are here, Jim.
Mr. Spock, come take a look at this. This is evidently the main bridge. What do you make of it?
This is clearly the control center for the ship, Captain. I cannot deduce much information, but I do observe 2 things.
Go on, Mr. Spock.
This station definitely is configured differently from the one beside me.
This shouldn't be surprising. After all, there are 2 stations.
That may be, Doctor. But if you'll recall, all the Enterprise's different stations link into the same computer network bank, and...
What else can you determine at this stage, Mr. Spock?
These people have a fixation for the number 6, and even divisors and multiplicans thereof. 3s and 12s in particular. I believe this may be the necessary first clue to understanding the aliens.
Okay.
Mr. Spock, come take...
This station definitely is configured different.
A control console.
This station, however.
Do it.
Both our tricorders are now working on basic processing of the alien's computer data system. The tricorders are not the equal of the universal translator, but we should be able to retrieve basic information and get an insight into their culture and life systems. I don't believe we could have gotten even this far had we not deduced their fixation on base 6 mathematics and aesthetics. The tricorders are again available for general use. The alien ship's computer data is now accessible from the ship's library.
That took a lot of time.
I have downloaded enough information to our tricorders to enable operation of most of the ship's controls, Captain.
Well, that's good.
Save new game. Replace
Oh, jeez. No idea. There's a door there.
Why, Captain,
Ah.
I see you got this machine to work. I tried to get it up and
What did
running
I
for
say?
the longest time.
Help yourself, Harry. Knowledge is for everyone.
No.
Get away from that this instant, Harry, or I'll shoot you where you stand.
Okay, also
Help
aggressive.
yourself, Harry. Knowledge is for everyone. Get away from that this instant, Harry, or I'll shoot you where you stand.
Maybe that one.
Whatever you say, Captain.
Oops! Mud! Did you know what you just did? That knowledge was priceless, and you've just destroyed it forever.
Oh my god, Mud. Just shoot him.
Kirk, look what you made me do. You and your clumsy Starfleet.
Wow, what's going on?
Don't you realize what you've done? That knowledge was
The stream went down?
irreplaceable. You just burned down the galactic equivalent of the Library of Alexandria.
When?
Millions of lives might have been saved by the knowledge that you destroyed.
Now see here, Dr. McCoy. Don't blame me if Kirk's bellowing causes me to be a teeny bit clumsy.
Teeny bit clumsy, Mud? You're a disgrace to the entire human race.
Look, there's a lot going on here.
You, Kirk. I have half a mind to sue you for defamation of character.
All right.
Captain, I think Mr. Mudd looks like he's getting out of control.
Kirk, get this muscle-bound clod away from me. I'm allergic to violence.
At ease, Lieutenant. He's not worth it.
All right. What happened? What did you miss? What went down? Everything's completely normal on my end. Must have been a Twitch thing. Yeah, not much happened. We found out that they have base 6 mathematics. So where if I alt tab out of the game, everything gets mad. I can't see the pinned quote. Where is this currently raw? I don't know. If you type in chat again, I'll see it. How long was it down for? Good, I'm gonna reload a save anyway. See if I tell him the other thing, he won't destroy the computer. Where's this currently working for you with the point and click? Oh, I don't know. It's not like as good as any of the LucasArts classics, that's for sure. A couple minutes. Again, I see nothing on my end. It had to be Twitch. That's, I mean, and you know, there's a lot of information to absorb in the last several minutes here. In my defense, all right. It was locked in. Okay. Just before or after I did everything with the tricorders? I think after.
This platform contains the control console for the ship's computer.
I had to do it again.
Not all topics will necessarily be available, Captain.
Nah.
Nor do I believe we can get full details on all data. The tricorders could only do so much processing. It would be worth our effort to locate the central data banks for delivery to the Korniforos Life Sciences University, I believe.
To say nothing of fulfilling our mandate to seek out new life and new civilization.
It was that technical
I'm
screen.
receiving
Man, I have no
data
idea.
now, Captain. Most internal and external functions are controlled from the bridge. These include engineering, navigation, communications, and sensors. Weapons functions are controlled from the weapons room. I have found an entry on an experimental long-range weapon booster recently installed, named the Wyos weapon. It does not alter the power of the primary weapon systems, but it does increase the range at which those weapons are effective. I believe I can produce a picture of a member of their race, Captain.
By all means, Spock.
Whoa, they're ugly.
Look at their physiology, Jim. I think this explains the Lashayans' fascination with 3s and 6s.
It should be no surprise that physiology affects mind and behavior. I would say a six-fingered, six-eyed people would naturally develop their sciences and arts around base 6 numerical systems, just as I observed on the bridge.
Medical knowledge is comprehensive and lifespan is extended considerably over archaic expectations, with maintenance of quality of life. Interesting data here about the six-eyed vision processing in the brain. Their eyesight must have been excellent and almost 300 degrees around.
Thank you, Dan X, for following. Appreciate it. Thank you, Orchid Master Stream Shake. Yeah. I'm sorry about that, all right? Look, there was a lot of information to absorb here. I still think it was nothing on my end, because everything just looks completely normal over here.
Save new game. Replace previous.
That's what I absorbed. Well, we used our tricorders to learn about their species, and we know that they like number 6. And I think I can use their computer consoles.
Why, Captain!
I talked to this guy, and I
Harry.
he destroyed a thing. I'm going to see if I can make him not do it this time.
Why, Kirk, I didn't think you had it in you. Thank you.
It might be a mistake. At least he didn't break it this time. Alright, we should be able to use this now.
I can't make anything of these controls.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were Spock.
This is the secondary station. With the limited understanding we now have of the library computer data, these controls can now be activated. Available are sensors, navigation, engineering, done, sensors. The Enterprise is in combat with a number of Ilassi pirate ships half a parsec toward the neutron star sector. I read debris identifiable with the pirates, but they continue to harass the Enterprise. Sensors.
That's not good.
Navigation. The computer reports this ship is incapable of navigating anywhere at all without major repairs. We are definitely dead in space until the Enterprise returns, Captain. Sensors. Navigation.
Oops.
The computer reports sensors. Done. Engineering. The engine pods are damaged, but still generating power, Captain. Sensors. Done.
Okay, what about the other console, Spock? This one's different, right? No?
This is the secondary station. With the limited sensors, navigate and done.
Okay.
Thanks to the library computer data, limited though it is, these primary controls give me access to
communications. View screen.
Done.
View screen. Communications. View screen.
Ready?
I guess the universe looks about like it did the last time we saw it. Communications.
The Enterprise is out of range for this equipment, under the conditions of static created by the neutron star.
Communications. View screen.
Done.
No, that wasn't too useful, then was it? Mud, what are you doing now?
Why, Captain!
Jim, that doesn't look good at all. Harry, let me take a look at you and check whether that had some deleterious effect.
No, you're all space aliens. You're little gray men from inside the Hollow Earth. You
Hollow
want to
Earth.
experiment on my body parts. Stay away from me.
Deleterious effects. I guess I don't even need my tricorder to know that.
You'll mind control me, kidnap my children, dissect my dog.
If we can get him on one of the beds and get it active, I think he can be cured. Otherwise, he's likely to become increasingly violent.
Stay away from me!
Okay. Harry?
No, you're going to sell me to space aliens! Use my brain as a weapon to destroy the human race! And here I am, willing to help out in a good cause.
I think I liked him better when he was less delirious.
I mean, I don't see
Save
why
new game.
I can't just shoot him.
I don't think the phaser will have the usual effect, Captain.
Yeah.
We'll have to think of something else.
Yaha! I feel faster, smarter, strong enough to take you all on! You're really lizard men wearing human masks. His is coming off! I know you for
I
what
think I
you
have the
really
Telltale
are.
Star Trek game.
I'll tell the whole world, and
Forgot
then
to
where
list
will you
it.
be?
That game wasn't like terrible or anything. It's pretty ugly. Okay, can we like pincer him here? You guys stay over there and come this way. Okay, Harry.
Spock, see if you can outflank him.
We did it. We're smart. Oh, look at us go.
All yours now, Dr. McCoy.
The volatile chemicals have evaporated over the time the derelict hung in space. I need to refill the capsule dispenser for the bed to activate and effect a cure on our friend Harry here.
Okay, can you do that?
It would be interesting to analyze them back aboard the Enterprise, but these are probably vaccines
Do they pose any threat to us, Doctor?
None seems likely to have any effect on human or Vulcan physiology. To be on the safe side, though, I wouldn't recommend taking a snootful from one of the capsules. I certainly see nothing. There's nothing there.
So, are you gonna fix him or not? What's going on?
The volatile chemicals have evaporated over the time the derelict hung in space. I need to refill the capsule dispenser for the bed to activate and effect a cure on our friend Harry here.
Okay.
It would be interesting to analyze.
Do they pose any...
None seems like...
What is that?
A green capsule apparently for medical use with an unknown alien physiology.
Well, I feel like I shouldn't just use that.
Nothing happens.
I tried anyways. What do you want me to do?
Nothing happens. You fail to obtain...
The volatile chemicals have
I need to
evaporated
refill
over
the
the
capsule
time the derelict
dispenser
hung
for
in
the
space.
bed.
I need to refill the capsule dispenser for the bed to activate and effect a cure on our friend Harry here.
Okay.
I certainly see nothing.
Like, should we leave? What the heck? What's that? What the hell? Anybody use this console?
I failed to see the lock.
No, you don't want to?
I certainly see nothing there calling for a ship's doctor.
Am I supposed to just like leave for now? Don't really understand what McCoy's telling me he wants me to do.
Are you religious, Jim? Is Harry Mudd a divine punishment for anything we did wrong?
I can't think of anything we did that was that bad.
You look troubled, Captain.
Sorry if I was bothering you. I was just silently cursing the day I met Harry Mudd.
Take more. Guess we gotta do something with these somewhere.
Dust and grease lifts off the surface, leaving this item clean as new.
It looks pretty dirty to me still.
Dust and grease lifts... Shiny dodecagons as long as one's hand, highly reflective, shimmering with the prismatic rainbow look of oil on water. Dust and grease lit.
Guess I'll leave. I'm a little worried about doing that. I mean, there's this room with the torpedoes. The fuck?
Kirk, my friend! When
There was the time that you tried to come and...
Perhaps the...
Don't push your...
This is a bug, right? Or an error? What the hell is this? Or is he fine? Did I fix him? Is it telling me I already fixed him? Maybe he's just fixed and I didn't realize. No, he's still fucking there. That's weird.
A control console from which...
I already did everything I could do here.
You look but see nothing. You can't seem to make this work.
It's too bad. I'd really like to.
Dust and grease lifts. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. This might be a data screen of some kind.
Okay, any other doors?
I fail to see the logic in that action.
Databanks erased.
It appears our good friend, Harry Mudd, has crashed the main computers. I doubt if it was a very easy thing to manage.
Spock, we're talking about Harry Mudd. He was probably trying to download it so he could sell it to the highest bidder.
And instead, he wiped the memory. That knowledge was
same
priceless.
thing happened.
At least our life support system isn't dependent on the alien computer.
I believe, Captain, that the basic functions of the ship remain even now. This is the library module. The art, history, and cultural memory of the aliens are gone, but the mechanical necessities of sickbay, engineering, and sensors continue to work.
But their essence, their souls, are gone, Spock.
Illogical, Captain. This race has been extinct for millennia.
I think I'm going to lose points for that. Guess we should try to use this shit, huh?
I certainly see nothing.
No? Well, no one wants to use this? I assume I have to use this at some point.
An elaborate piece of alien... This is much too heavy to lift.
That's Shatner, yep.
You fail to obtain anything.
They got the actual actors and all that.
A most interesting technology, Captain.
If the Alassi gets hold of this, they'll make Mudd seem like a perfect caretaker by comparison.
So weird he's still in here.
This container holds bricks of what might have been pre-processed food a long time ago.
Oh, there's a room over here. Jesus.
A Save-A-Ship emergency life support generator generally used for temporary life support during evacuation of small damaged ships.
Evidently, Mr. Mudd was unwilling to pay the price for a reliable salvage model. This room appears to have been the alien ship's engine pod. A ship-to-ship access hatch and a temporary life support generator are evidently recent additions. An unusual matter-antimatter engine, reminiscent of the designs created by the Hoopoon of Segamus 4. This seems to be a crane of some sort, Captain. Currently, no power is running to it. As one would expect, Mr. Mudd has sealed the hatch with his personal code. We cannot enter his ship, Captain.
I suspect that's a blessing in disguise, Mr. Spock.
This life support generator is an unreliable model at the best of times. Tinkering with it is a gamble with your life.
There's gotta be something to do in here.
This life support generator is an unreliable model at the best of times. Tinkering with it is a gamble with your life. This life support...
Okay. Can I, like, empty this?
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. You fail to obtain anything.
Well, Jim, as long as we don't strangle Harry Mudd, I can't see very much for me to do on this mission.
Let's hope there isn't too much for you to do back at the Enterprise.
Unlike humans, I do not decrease my efficiency with meaningless dialogue.
Spock, meaningless conversation is one of life's great pleasures. This life support generator...
Yeah, no. I was all excited to find a new room, but ain't much happening in here. I can't use this control panel.
Nothing happens.
Not much to interact with in this room. I mean, my best guess is that if I could fill one of these empty cartridges with some of the life support goo here, I could maybe cure Harry Mudd. I don't know.
A Save-A-Ship emergency life support generator.
Evidently, Mr. Mudd was unwilling to pay the price. This Save-A-Ship life support generator has seen a great deal of use. It was never a reliable model, being prone to break down without warning. It is, however, properly connected with warning alarms for temperature, atmosphere, and radiation.
I certainly see nothing there.
Screw it.
This life support generator...
Dang it. It's so weird that he's still there. I hope that doesn't mean something's broken.
Nothing happens.
What are you doing?
The capsules slide into the machinery on the bed exactly as they're designed to. I'm telling the program, our physiology is not the same as the aliens' physiology. Don't want it to try to cure us of being human.
That would be too much to hope for, would it not, Doctor?
Particularly when we're talking about Harry Mudd.
Okay. So is he cured then? Alright.
Okay, Harry, you should start to feel better in a few minutes. Just lie there quietly until you feel like moving.
Oh, give me something for this headache, Doc. A herd of Amari tree elephants landed behind my eyeballs and did a mating dance.
Well, okay. You did that. Yeah, I'm not sure why. You care. He's gone. Maybe they probably just never programmed him to not be in that room. They probably never thought I would leave here before solving that puzzle. But I kind of just wasn't really understanding it. Might need another one of these capsules, I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe he'll be in the, I don't know. Maybe he'll be in the, engineering room now, or whatever. Doesn't really do anything in that room. Down there. Oh. Yeah, let's see, there we go.
Captain, you wouldn't have seen my multi-purpose duver anywhere? I need to, fix something.
No, Harry, but I figure it's probably where you'll find your lost marbles. Yes, I've got it, but you can't have it. No, Harry, but I figure it's probably where you'll find your lost marbles. Yes, I've got it. No, Harry, but I figure it's probably where you'll find your lost marbles.
You really can be a headache, Captain. Maybe I can find a spare somewhere else. Good luck. Goodbye.
I mean, I don't think I have that. Maybe that's the thing
There seems to be something wrong with the life support generator.
Oh, great.
The life support generator is malfunctioning. Repairs must be made soon, or the atmosphere will fall below the level required to sustain us, Captain.
We can repair it.
This life support generator is...
There, you piece of shit.
This life support generator is...
Nothing happens.
I certainly see nothing.
How about you? Do you know what to do?
He looks at you with a puzzled...
Great. Everyone's really helpful today.
The life support generator... The life support generator is malfunctioning. Repairs must be made soon, or the
Well, does anybody have any ideas? Oh, shit. Harry!
You fail to obtain anything.
I mean, I don't have any tools. I tried using everything I have.
You should relax a little more. This life support...
The doctor doesn't like any of those.
This life support... Why would you want to do that? Let's not go misusing.
Click Enterprise.
At some point I'm gonna help them fight them with those missiles, I think. As much as and there are similarities.
You fail to obtain anything.
I mean, are there any tools in the other room? Hey! Your shit's broken.
Kirk, my friend. Well,
there was the time...
Perhaps the...
Don't push your luck, Harry.
Odd-looking contraption, small enough to hold in...
Guess we'll fix it later. It's just a time limit. I don't know. I mean... Oh, now you're using this.
The device has finished loading, Captain.
Go. Now keep it loaded. Hey, Slipknot, thanks for following. Appreciate it. We're doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, so we're gonna shoot these at the aliens so the Enterprise can come here. Have I seen the fishing minigame tier list on GB? No, I have not.
The device has finished loading.
Well, that's something.
I failed to see the...
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
You still have this fucking
Nothing
thing.
happens.
I failed to see the...
You fire that torpedo?
This is the secondary station. Sensors. The Enterprise is in combat with a number of Elassie pirate ships. Sensors. Navigation. The computer reports this ship is incapable of navigating anywhere at all without sensors. Navigation.
Whoops, wrong one. I need to keep doing that.
The computer reports this sensor. Navigate. Engine done. Engineering. The engine pods are damaged, but still generating power, Captain. Sensors.
Well, there wasn't anything too useful there.
Engine done.
He always goes to that console.
This is the secondary sensors.
Yeah, we're definitely
Done.
in pixel hunt mode. What about this over here? Probably the same thing, yep.
This is the secondary station. Sensor done.
Then he didn't have many options at all.
Thanks to the library computer data, limited though it is, these primary...
Communications.
The Enterprise is out of range for this...
Communications.
Okay,
View screen.
Done.
That's it, Jesus. Okay. Again, like, I'm worried there's like another door somewhere I don't know about. There's been a thing. Go back. There was a thing. But this triangle there.
This appears to be some sort of engineering
Oh, wow. Good eye.
A multi-purpose
Oh,
repair
fuck, we can
kit.
use that to
You look but see nothing of note.
stop ourselves
You
from
look but see
dying. That'll be useful. Let's do that. This way. Hey, Feast of Violet. Are people still like... People still get worked up about the Trekkies thing? Because I don't know. I feel like Trekkies has a better ring to it. I don't think people care anymore. Oh, people got mad back in the day.
That was a close one. Too close. If I ever get my hands on that no-good mud, I'll...
I would not suggest we take the time to seek him. This emergency could occur again. I would suggest we hasten our departure.
It seems like I was kind of doing a sequence of events to make mud appear in the right places.
Was there a problem?
Mud, I ought to...
Sorry, no time to chat. I'm a busy man, you know.
Okay. He's so fast. So there should be something in the program that makes him stop appearing in that room, but... Okay, this thing's loaded.
An elaborate piece of...
You just need to fire it.
The room reminds you of the weapons room of some old-style warships from the early days of starfaring. 2 yellow triangular buttons. A red triangular button.
Like, is it a matter of, like, pushing the buttons differently? No. Or is that, like, they don't even let me do it? Okay, don't unload the thing, Spock. I'm just trying to do things.
I believe, Captain, that this weapon must be hooked up through the main weapons battery. However, I've already examined the weapons console, and the main weapons battery on this ship was completely destroyed in the action, which made her a derelict. Mr. Scott would have to go over this thoroughly, but I would recommend we try to take this weapon with us to the Enterprise.
I don't think we should tinker with technology we don't understand, Spock, and I'm surprised you'd suggest such a thing. I agree that we should take it aboard the Enterprise. I'll try to raise the ship. Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise. I don't think we should... I'll try to raise the ship. Kirk...
Well, so much for that. What do the yellow buttons do, Spock? No. Great, that again. What does the blue button do?
The device has been unloaded.
Hey, Descartes, thank you for 11 months. 60 months, excuse me. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you.
I believe, Captain, that this weapon must be hooked up through... However, I've already examined the weapons console, and the main weapons battery on this ship. Mr. Scott would have to go over this thoroughly, but...
I don't think we should tinker with technology we don't understand. I agree that we should take it aboard the Enterprise. I'll try to raise the ship. Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
Did the same thing. Am I supposed to reprimand him? Because I don't want to do that. Spock's
Save
my guy.
New game. Replay. Delete previous game. Save new game.
I don't even know what number I'm on. I should just start making descriptions of these. Yell Spock.
I believe, Captain, that, however, Mr. Scott...
I don't think we should tinker with...
Alright then. I didn't like that. Well, that was the point of that.
I failed to see...
It's weird that, like, some of these buttons have done different things, but other ones don't. Most of them seem to just load and reload.
The device has been... The device has finished...
That's so weird. Do it again. Can I push this far left blue one if it's unloaded?
The device has been...
Yeah, Spock's just having a good time playing the crane game.
The device has finished...
Okay, let's try this.
I believe, Captain, that this weapon must be... However, I've already examined the weapons console, and the main weapons battery on this ship. Mr. Scott would have to go over this thoroughly, but I would recommend we try to take...
I don't think we should... I agree that we should take it aboard the Enterprise. I'll try to raise the ship. Kirk to... I don't... I'll try to raise the ship.
3 and 2 seem to be the
Kirk
same thing, right? I'm not crazy.
I agree that we should take it... I'll try to raise the ship. Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
I'm not doing something wrong there?
I believe, Captain, that, however, Mr. Scott would have...
I don't think we should. I agree. I'll try to raise the
I mean, I can use my communicator on the bridge, not its comms. Now what are you doing?
Why, Captain!
Oh god, not again.
Jim, that doesn't look good at all. Harry, let me take a look at you and check whether that had some deleterious effect.
No, you're all space aliens. You're little gray men from inside the heart.
Deleterious effects. I guess I don't even need my tricorder to know that. If we can get him on...
Stay away from me!
There must be some reason we want him out of commission, I'm guessing. Maybe that's how I could have kept them from ruining the computer earlier. Is there any chance you somehow read the Daily Dick Tracy contract? No, I never did. I haven't seen the Dick Tracy movie yet. Alright, let's not
All yours now.
hear him yet. What's this screen here? Still haven't found any place to put this, although I might have missed my chance to. Because that computer's destroyed. What's up? What's the mic thing? Yarp. See. When I try to do this,
nothing happens.
It almost does something.
You can't seem to make this work. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Part of me also wants to
Nothing
load like an
happens.
even order save. I've still never degrimed anything. But nothing about this wreck down here matters for that, it seems.
A control console. You look but see nothing. You look but see nothing.
Why is this pit interactable? It's just the door. It's just the door. I mean, it's still weird to me that, like, we never really accomplished anything in engineering. This looks like another one of those silver consoles that have an item, but this one I can't interact
You
with.
failed to obtain.
Apparently. It really bothers me that he's still in this room. I mean, it's just gotta be some kind of weird error, but...
Tall, transparent columns run through the ceiling. Energy crackles in between the dodecahedrons inside them. Nothing happens.
Like, there's this crane here, like in
Nothing
the other
happens.
room, but I can't use the control panels in this
Nothing
one for some
happens.
reason.
I certainly see nothing.
An unusual matter-antimatter engine. This room appears to have been the alien ship's engine pod.
Not seeing any other pixels in here.
Dust and grease lifts off the surface.
Doesn't seem to do anything.
Kirk to Enterprise.
Yeah, Palmy's worried I'm at the reload a save from before Harry Mudd deleted this thing, but I don't know. Can you be soft locked in this game? If someone knows, you can tell me, but I don't think so. I think you just failed the mission somehow.
The star field is the same one you saw from the bridge of the Enterprise, with a binary
I can't believe there wasn't more to do here.
Thanks to the library computer data.
Communications. Scotty, report.
The Alassi pirates
What?
have
Why'd it
been
work?
driven off, Captain. We
Oh,
have
we just had to
damage
wait?
and injuries among the crew. We just arrived back here a few minutes ago, and we've been trying to raise you on the communicators.
The local star seems to be acting up. Will there be a problem with the transporter? I want you to beam up the landing party, and I also want you to lock onto and beam aboard an alien mechanism we came across.
We can do it, Captain, no problem. At least right now, but the situation is only going to get worse. Are you ready to beam over now?
No, we want to look around some more. We'll call you on this channel when we're ready. Yes, bring us home. No, I need...
Oh, didn't know what that one was. Okay. So it's just a time thing? Because they were in the middle of a fight? That's weird. Well. Okay, we gotta cure Mudd again. Maybe... Yeah, maybe... Let's cure Mudd last. Let's do this thing with the weapons. More that this it's just something we should have done before he had a chance to ruin the computer, but I don't know. Okay, so if Spock does this now, we'll actually be able to talk to them. Oops, wrong character.
I believe, Captain, that this weapon must be hooked. However, Mr. Scott...
I don't think we should... I agree that we should take... I'll try to raise the ship.
What?
I believe, Captain. However, Mr. Scott...
I don't think we should... I agree that we should take it aboard the Enterprise. I'll try to raise the ship. Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
I am enjoying the game. There's, you know, there's weirdness. There always is with these games. For some reason, I can't talk to the Enterprise.
I can't make anything of these controls.
Oh, sorry.
This is the secondary station. Sensors. The Enterprise is in combat with a number of Alassi pirate ships half a parsec toward the neutron star sector. I read debris identifiable with the pirates, but the sensors, navigation, engineering, done.
Wait, why did I get to talk to them for a second?
Thanks to the library.
Communications. Scotty, report.
The Alassi pirates have been driven off, Captain.
Have they or have they not?
And injuries among the crew. We just arrived back here a few minutes ago, and we've been trying to raise you on the communicators.
The local star seems to be acting up. Will there be a problem with the transporter? I want you to beam up...
We can do it, Captain, no problem. At least right now, but the situation...
No, we want to look around some more. We'll call you... Yes, no, we want to look around some more. No, I need to have a word with Harry. Yes, bring us home, Mr. Scott. No, we want to look around some more. We'll call you on this channel when we're ready.
So weird.
Kirk to
I said
Enterprise.
word with
Kirk to
Mudd.
Enterprise.
I mean, I could cure mud again, but I don't really know. I mean, there's all sorts of things I haven't done here. I have not used the 2 items I picked in the beginning up for anything yet. So obviously there's something with that.
The capsule slide into the machinery on. I'm telling the program. That would be particularly.
Again, the fact that they let me do this again makes me feel like there's some other
Nothing
order of
happens.
operations I should be doing here, but I just don't know.
Nothing happens.
Okay, Harry, you should.
Oh, give me something for this.
Did Rainn Wilson play Harry Mudd in one of the newer Star Trek things, or am I making that up? That did happen. Okay, I'm not crazy. This is driving me crazy. Hey, Chuck. I mean, something's not broken, right? I don't know. I could maybe use another nudge if anybody knows, but... Like, I fixed this thing.
Evidently, Mr. Mudd was unwilling.
But so what?
James T. Kirk.
I'm looking at me.
You look but see nothing.
Probably worries him not, like, still being here is a problem. I'm supposed to be looking in that thing he's in, but... Maybe Mudd will show up in one of these other rooms again. He's not here again. Yet, at least. I'm worried that, like, maybe I just need to beam back to the ship because something messed up when I couldn't do the thing. I'm gonna load a new save from, like, before. Where's 12? How far back is this? Nah, not far back enough. 11 might be pretty far back. Actually, this is kind of where I want to be. This is good. Is the computer still working? Did I ever do this?
Nothing happened.
Really? Because, like, one time Kirk tried to do something with that.
Nothing happens.
There we go. I'm clicking on Spock instead.
You download
There we
major
go.
portions of the alien library onto the yellow spheroid.
This is the thing we didn't do before. So that's something.
Save new game. Replace previous game.
Okay, this is now a better 11.
Thanks to the library computer data.
Communications. View screen. I guess the universe looks about communications.
The Enterprise is out of range for this equipment, under the conditions of static created by the neutron star.
Communications. View screen.
Done.
Okay.
This is the secondary station. Sensors. The Enterprise is in combat with a number of Elassie pirate ships half a parsec toward the neutron star sector. Sensors. Navigation. The computer reports this ship is incapable of navigating anywhere at all without major repairs. Sensors, navigation. The computer reports the sensors, engineering. The engine pods are damaged, but sensors, and done.
Okay.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
I mean, maybe I should just leave when I can now. Maybe it's all just about making sure Harry Mudd is cured, that I fix the thing from blowing up, then we just beam off. I don't know. There's something with that missile.
Look at you and check whether that had some deleterious effect.
There's something with the missile.
Deleterious effect.
You'll mind.
If we can get him on one.
Stay away.
Do I need to be on that side of him, I wonder?
Spock, see if you can...
Oh, it's easier than I thought. Yeah, they tell me not to phaser him.
All yours now, Dr. McCoy.
I mean, there's still a part of me that's like, there's got to be something to this as well.
Dust and grease lifts off the... Dust and grease lifts off...
I guess, again, it's like, I don't know why I would want to cure him right away. Gotta be something I should be doing.
Nothing happens.
I failed to see...
Another thing I'm worried about is that these different buttons actually do matter more than I think.
The device has finished loading. I believe, Captain, that this weapon must be hooked up through the main weapons battery. However, I've already examined the weapons console, and the main weapons battery on this ship was completely destroyed. Mr. Scott would have to...
I don't think we should...
I didn't mean to say that, come on. Doesn't misclick.
I believe, Captain, that, however, Mr.
I don't think we should tinker. I agree that we should take it aboard. I'll try to raise the ship. Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
That's so weird.
A weapons delivery system.
Oh yeah, people, their voice pretty old here. That I hate seeing him when he's supposed to be asleep in that other room. Good play. It's looking. I thought I would be able to do this faster. It's starting to get late. I need to be going to bed soon, but I can't. I gotta finish this thing. I don't know what to do.
A saber ship and...
Evidently, Mr. Mudd...
A salvage lock hatch.
It appears that Harry Mudd managed to emplace this access hatch without significantly damaging the alien ship.
Will wonders never cease?
Yeah, if I stop in the middle of this, I'm gonna have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, I'm gonna probably look up a hints here, so if nobody in chat has any idea what to do. I don't think anyone in chat knows this game.
The room reminds you of the weapon.
I'm also worried it's just some door I haven't seen yet.
I believe I have retrieved...
No hints allowed. I don't know about that. Dialogue 3, then 1. Well, that's so weird. Maybe I didn't hit the Harry Mudd one? I don't know. The problem is Harry Mudd's asleep right now, and I still don't think this isn't even working right now.
Thanks to the library
communications. Scotty, report.
There we go.
Pirates have been driven off, Captain. We have damage.
The local star seems to be acting up.
We can do it, Captain.
No, we want to look around. Yes. No, I need to have a word. No, we want to look. No, I need to have...
Okay.
Thanks to the library computer...
Communications. Scotty, report.
The Alassi pirates have been driven off, Captain.
The local star seems to be...
We can do it, Captain.
No, we want to look around some more.
I don't think that's what you meant. That didn't do anything. Maybe I'm supposed to actually have a word with Harry Mudd. I don't know. I mean, I picked that option before, and Mudd didn't come talk to me. Maybe he was sleeping again.
Nothing happens.
God, this one seems kind of just like a weird series of events you gotta do things. We're gonna have to fix the
capsule slide
thing
into
at
the
some point.
machinery on the... I'm telling the program.
That would be...
Particularly... Okay, Harry, you should start to feel...
Okay. Maybe now he's awake if I do this. For some reason, loading the weapon is what is allowing me to have communications work. I don't know why that would be.
Developments, Mr. Scott?
The neutron star is causing more and more problems, Captain. I would recommend beam...
Later, Mr. Scott. Very well, bring us home, Mr. Scott. No, I need to have a word with Harry. Later, Mr. No, I need to have a word...
Here we go. The heck?
Captain Kirk, I seem to be missing a miracle degrimer. Surely you're not stooping to thievery, are you, Captain?
I wish I saved.
I was sure you wouldn't miss them, Harry. The patent authority wants these properly registered, and I'm sure you want to do the right thing. No, Harry, we're going to let you keep them to sell to the Alassi at incredible profits so they can use them against Federation authorities. I was sure you wouldn't miss them, Harry. The patent authority wants these properly registered, and I'm sure you want to do the right thing.
What? Where's the profit in that, Captain?
Did you know Stella's still looking for you? What's it worth to you for me not to tell her where to find you, Harry?
Consider it done. You have my word, Captain. Now I'm going to pick up just a few things, insignificant things, really. Then I'll be gone. Farewell, Captain. May your path be always trouble-free until we meet again.
When we meet, Harry, it always means trouble.
Well, I got that data bank. I bet the game's gonna punish me for not, like, doing the thing to fix the life support.
We had read your report on the problems
good
at
enough.
Huracan and evaluate your performance at 70%. You and your crew received 1 commendation points. A satisfactory performance, Captain, but there's still...
I wired in that alien contraption to the torpedo system. It should boost the ship's firepower, Captain.
Oh, that's neat.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. I only wish you could wire Harry Mudd to a photon torpedo.
While you were away, Captain, I made some travel arrangements that I thought you would approve of.
Travel arrangements?
I think you'll be happy to know that I've arranged for Stella Mudd to meet her long-lost husband on Starbase 7, sir.
Approved, Lieutenant. Take us out of here, Mr. Saru.
Again, like, I'm worried I would have gotten an extra point if I'd, like, gone back to that room until the thing broke and fixed it. Does it matter? I don't know. Part of me wants to, like, real quick go back over there.
Captain's log.
What sucks is you can't save before this stuff.
Starfleet reports major military activity in the Klingon sector near Krakoor. a planet on the edge of Klingon space. Intelligence indicates that the Klingons are mobilizing a large fleet to search for a renegade who is responsible for a disruption of unknown nature on that planet. Federation sensors have found a faint energy trail leading to the planet Zam-4 in the Digifal system. We've been ordered by Starfleet to track down the source of the energy and discovered what happened on Trakur before the Klingon fleet enters Federation space. If we are not successful, the Federation and the Klingon Empire may find themselves at war once again.
Okay, a couple things here. First, I want to save.
Save new game.
Yeah. I'm gonna call it Rock Core after the place I need to go to. Do kind of want to reload a save. I want to see. I want to fix the thing real quick. It drives me crazy. I only get 1 point. I deserve more than that. Okay. This bullshit. Do this.
What?
Jim, that doesn't look...
No.
Deleterious.
You'll mind.
If we can get him on...
Stay away.
Got him.
All yours now, Dr. McCoy.
So where I have to like take one of these out just to like put it
Nothing happens.
back in. I don't really understand it.
The capsule slide into the machinery
Guess I
on
get
the
it.
bed, exactly. I'm telling
That would be
particularly...
Because we're taking it from the cabinet to like this center thing. I don't know, whatever.
Okay, Harry, you should...
Okay. So now let's load the torpedo and say, yes, we'll take it back to the Enterprise. And then let's make sure we fix the thing, and then we'll use the communications.
The device has finished loading, Captain. I believe, Captain, that, however, I've all... Mr. Scott...
I don't think we should... I agree that we should take... I'll try to raise the ship.
Okay.
I failed to see the...
There's that. Now I'm going to see Mud in this room and be mad. Good, good, good.
A Saber ship
Just look at it.
Evidently, Mr.
Did I even, I don't even have the repair tool. Let's go get that. You better not do the thing again. Good. I don't want to go back to the computer room because he's going to destroy the thing. Which doesn't matter because I download a backup anyways. Who knows? Maybe I'll be punished for not watching him do it.
You failed to obtain...
Let's see why I didn't get this before. I want to, like, use all the consoles real quick.
Thanks to the library
Communications. View screen. I guess the universe looks at communications. Scotty, report.
The Alassi pirate.
The local star
worked.
No, we want to look around some more. We'll call you on this.
No. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, maybe I do.
Help yourself, Harry. Knowledge, get away from that this instant, Harry, or I'll shoot you where you stand.
Whatever you...
Okay, it's fine. We downloaded it back up.
Oops! Mud! Did you know what you just did?
Mud, you piece of shit.
Kirk, look what you...
Mud!
I've said this before.
Teeny bit clumsy, Mud? You're a disgrace to the entire...
How dare you, Kirk?
Captain, I think Mr. Mudd looks like...
Kirk!
At ease, Lieutenant.
I wonder if the lieutenant even could die on this mission. It seems like the red shirts always can, but I don't know how you would do that on this one. I guess we could all die.
Anything of these controls.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were Spock.
I failed to see... This is the secondary sensors. The Enterprise is in sensor navigation. The computer reports this ship is in sensor navigation engineering. The engine pods are damaged. Sensors. Engine done.
Okay.
I failed to see the...
I just gotta fix the thing and then we'll leave. That's basically everything done on the ship that I know of. It's also shocking how little there was to do here with like all these rooms and everything.
Captain!
No, Harry, but I figure it's probably where you'll find your lost marbles. Yes, I've got it, but you can't have it. No, Harry, but I figure it's probably where you'll find your lost marbles.
You really can be a headache, Captain.
He's trying to kill us, is what this is. I don't know.
That was a close one. Too close.
I would not suggest we take the time to seek him. This emergency could occur again.
Okay.
Oh,
Mud.
Sorry, no time to...
Nothing happened.
Okay. Now we can leave. Whatever points we get, it's fine. I don't even know how you get 3 points. I just want 2. I'll take 2. Take 2. It's funny. That must be why they're called that. I wonder if the VOD is going to be split up at all, because again, on here I didn't see anything. Alright. Say that again.
Thanks to the library computer.
I love that
data.
bit.
Communications. New developments, Mr. Scott?
The neutrons...
Later, Mr. Scott. Very well, bring us home, Mr. Scott. No, I
must
need to have
pick
a
2.
word with Harry Mudd before...
Captain Kirk!
Don't rush off, Harry. There's still a few things we need to discuss. In such a hurry? And Stella said she was dropping everything to meet you here. Don't rush off, Harry. There's still a few
more.
things
This
we
is
need to
new
discuss.
dialogue, which I saved now.
You destroyed the only known records of a lost race. That's a punishable offense. Tell me why I shouldn't arrest you on the spot just on general principles.
Because I am going to turn over a selection of samples to the Corniforous Life Sciences University.
For free?
Of course. One of everything I've found here.
5 of each.
I see.
Captain! 2.
5. Remember, I could confiscate your entire stock as illegal goods.
Okay,
you might get
so
it
this
back
is...
through the
I
courts
see.
in a few years.
So it's a good thing you destroyed
You have
that.
a hard bargain, Captain. It's a deal.
Maybe I am getting full
You have
points.
no idea what a great bargain it is, Mudd.
I understand. No problem. And you, Captain?
Bring us home, Mr. Scott.
Alright, I think we did better that one.
We have read your report on the problems at
Hey,
hand
3 points.
and evaluate your performance at 88%. You and your crew received 3 commendation
Look
points.
at that.
The top brass at Starfleet are impressed. Outstanding work, Jim.
I wired in that alien contraption
We
to
saw
the...
our
Mr. Scott.
boosted
While you were
firepower.
away, Captain, I made
Travel
Okay,
arrangements.
blah, blah,
I
blah.
think you'll be happy.
Approved, Lieutenant.
All right, we're good. Now let's make a save again. We're good. Be set up for next time once I'm back. Oof.
Feathered Serpent.
Captain's log, stardate 5097.3. Starfleet reports major military activity in the Klingon sector near Krakoor, a planet on the edge of Klingon space. Intelligence indicates that the Klingons are mobilizing a large fleet to search for a renegade who is responsible for a disruption of unknown nature on that planet. Federation sensors have found a faint energy trail leading to the planet Zam-4 in the Digifal system. We've been ordered by Starfleet to track down the source of the energy and discovered what happened on Krakoor before the Klingon fleet enters Federation space. If we are not successful...
Alright. Save.
Save new replace previous.
Alright, there we go. That's more like it. That was kind of a weird mission. It was kind of like, because of the mud factor, kind of had to have him trigger certain events.
Yes, quit the game.
What we got there? Ugh, I'm sleepy. Gotta get to bed. Alright, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, no streams this weekend or anything, but I'll see you all soon. Let's see now. There's mud. It is late on a Wednesday. But there's people doing stuff like Pando-ish. Let's raid Pando. Like you all. Do appreciate it. Look at that. My stream was down on here. Alright, everyone say hi to Pando. I'll see you all in like a week or so. Yeah, like a week. So, have a good one. Enjoy the rest of fishing week. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.